Colleagues, my name is Binos Yaro, Adamawa South. I'm coming under Order 41 and 51 to enable me present the motion on the passing on of distinguished Senators Jonathan Sales Zwingina as approved by this chamber yesterday.
Yes. Proceed.
Thank you. Again, I'm Binos Yaro, Adamawa South. This motion is a matter of urgent national importance on the passing of former Senate Deputy Leader, Senator Dr. Jonathan Sales Zwingina. It's been co-sponsored by my colleagues from Adamawa, Senator Aminu E. Abbas, Adamawa Central, and Senator Amos Komai Yohana, Adamawa North. It is with deep sorrow that I rise to inform the President of the Senate and my distinguished colleagues of the passing of Senator Dr. Jonathan Sales Zwingina, a member of this hallowed chamber who served as a representative of the good people of my senatorial district, Adamawa South, senatorial district of Adamawa State, for 2 terms, from May 1999 to June 2007. Elected under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Senator Zwingina was born on 1st August 1954 in Falu, Guyuk local government area of Adamawa State, and passed on here in Abuja on 2nd October 2024 after a brief illness. While in the Senate, he served on many key standing committees such as Works and Housing, which he chaired, Establishment, Internal Affairs, Information, Special Projects, Privatization, and Economic Affairs. As chairman of the Senate Committee on Works and Housing, Senator Zwingina played a pivotal role in shaping policies that addressed Nigeria's infrastructure and housing challenges. He was also a vocal advocate for policy areas he championed, such as in appropriation, education, and youth empowerment. In his second term between 2003 and 2007, he served as the Deputy Majority Leader of the 7th Assembly. Senator Zwingina's contribution to Nigeria spanned decades and left an indelible mark on our nation's history. He was a leading voice in the struggle for democracy, serving as the Director General for the MKO Abiola campaign during the iconic 1993 presidential elections. Prior to his time in the Senate, Senator Zwingina played a pivotal role in shaping national discourse as the Adamawa State and later Plateau State Director of Mass Mobilization for Social Justice, Self-Reliance, and Economic Recovery, otherwise known as MAMSA, during General Ibrahim Babangida's military regime. As a seasoned intellectual and administrator, Senator Zwingina held other key positions, such as lecturer in political science at the College of Preliminary Studies, Yola, now Adamawa State Polytechnic, and Honorable Commissioner for Health, and later Commissioner for Water Resources and Rural Development in Adamawa State. His leadership and vision transformed lives, fostering growth and development in Adamawa State and Nigeria at large. Beyond politics, Zwingina was a respected intellectual with a passion for international relations and journalism. His insightful perspectives shed light on complex issues, enriching public discourse. Senator Zwingina's legacy of service, his commitment to democracy, and his dedication to the betterment of Nigerians will be remembered for generations to come. May his soul rest in perfect peace. The prayers are as follows: that the Senate send a delegation to participate in his burial program. 2, that the Senate ask the federal government to name a national edifice in his remembrance. And 3, that the Senate observes a 1-minute silence in his memory. I so submit.
Distinguished Senator
Ningi, and I rise to support this motion heavily canvassed by Senator Binos Dauda Yaro. And in seconding this very important motion, let me also add my voice to this very important motion on this very, very ebullient, firebrand senator. Senator Ngina was a deputy Senate leader while I was the leader of the House between 2003 and 2007. And we had a lot of paths crossing, members of the same party, members of the National Caucus, members of NEC, and members of the National Assembly Caucus. At every given fora, at every given time, in every given opportunity, Ngina always stands out in his presentation, in his intellectual ability, in his ability to bring to fore ideas that cut across this nation. One of the most detribalized Nigerians that I came across. Every time you listen to Ngina, he's not arguing about middle belt, northern Nigeria, southern Nigeria. He's a fun Nigerian, patriotic Nigerian. And I'm sure this country, particularly the Senate, will miss a very good gentleman. I am sure the Ngina is worthy of this particular motion. The Ngina is worthy of this Senate remembering him. The Ngina is worthy of Nigerians remembering him. He came, he saw, he conquered, he gave all. And may his soul rest in peace, Mr. President.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I am Aminu Abbas, Senator representing Adamawa Central. Mr. President, I want to join my colleague to immortalize this gentleman, the finest man that is produced by Adamawa Senator Jonathan Silas Zingina. Mr. President, Zingina was a teacher, administrator, advocate, and politician. As stated by Senator Ningi, Zingina carries everybody along. He doesn't discriminate tribe, religion, or any section that you come from. He is one of the finest politicians that is produced by Adamawa State. And we are going to miss distinguished Senator Dr. Zingina in Adamawa State. Mr. President, I urge distinguished colleagues to support the prayers on this motion. May the soul of distinguished Senator Jonathan Silas Zingina rest in peace.
Deputy Senator
Barrow Jibrin cannot not. Mr. President, let me start by extending my condolences to the people of Adamawa State, the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and indeed all Nigerians, particularly those that belong to the progressive class of this country. Because the late Senator Zingina was a progressive politician. We all know the role he played during the SDP era and what he did to actualize the mandate of late MKO Abiola. He was one of those that were in the forefront of that struggle. He did very well in that respect. So for us, in the progressive divide of the politics of this country, it is incumbent on us to mourn this great patriot of this country. Not only that, he was part and parcel of those who laid the foundation of the legislature of the Fourth Republic. He was a senator here in 1999, while some of us were in the House of Representatives. In fact, he was a principal officer and a dedicated member of the Senate Appropriations Committee, coupled with the fact that at a point he served as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Information. Very dedicated legislator par excellence, an orator who was gifted with words. He spoke with wisdom whenever I was given a chance to speak on the floor of this august Senate. His contributions were laced with wisdom and intellect. No wonder he was also an intellectual. Mr. President, the late senator paid his dues for the entrenchment of democracy in this country, for the entrenchment of sound and independent legislature in this country. That's why I gave kudos to you yesterday when you said we shouldn't just allow the senator representing his central zone to only read telling us about his demise, that he must be debated. His demise must be debated on this floor. Thank you, Mr. President. You've done well, not only for his family or for his state, but for the entire legislature, and indeed, the entire country. Because people who sacrificed their lives, who did well for the entrenchment of democracy in this country, should be appreciated, even after their death. Senator Zangina paid his dues. He will always be remembered as someone who helped to lay the foundation for the democracy we are enjoying in this country. For anyone to stand against the military then by ensuring the actualization of June 12, by ensuring that democracy must be brought to stay in this country, such person must be appreciated even after his demise. And I want to call on our younger generation to emulate the sacrifices that were done by patriots like Senator Zangina in order to ensure that we have the democracy we are enjoying in this country. Finally, I want to pray that may God give his family, give all of us the fortitude to bear his loss. Thank you, Mr. President.
This will encompass everybody, but I'd like to hear the voice of the minority leader, because I think he also had a personal relationship with late Senator Swingira.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I rise to lend my voice to the tribute to late Senator Zungina. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Zungina comes across to me as a perfect gentleman, an embodiment of responsibility and humility. Mr. President, like my colleagues have said, Zungina is of the progressive bend, and some of us have learned tremendously from him. Wherever he found himself, he presented himself as a man of peace, always advocating peace and ensuring that controversy is out of our political lexicon. Mr. President, I remember very vividly in 2012 when there was an apparent controversy in the Congress of the People's Democratic Party in Okpoku local government area of Benue State. Senator Zungina was one of the 5 BOT members selected by our revered President Babanga Tukuru at the time to go and resolve the issues in our party. And he came and did very wonderfully well and restored peace in our party. And that is what the character of Zungina that we are all going to miss today. And so, Mr. President, I seize this opportunity, therefore, to commend Zungina's character to up-and-coming generations of our politicians and human beings, and in addition, to seize the opportunity to commiserate with the family of Zungina and the political community that he belongs to. And so I hope sincerely that when the programs are laid, all of us will be adequately informed through your leadership to give him a proper and befitting burial. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Let me start by thanking distinguished Binus Dauda Yaro of Adamawa South, Aminu Yabaz, Adamawa Central, and Amos Johanna of Adamawa North for bringing this urgent national motion to the fore on the passing of this great man, former Senate Deputy Leader, the distinguished Senator Dr. Jonathan Silas Swingina. And I also thank my colleagues for their contributions. I had a personal knowledge of the man. He was a great patriot, was a gentleman par excellence. He was a very influential senator. He was a legislator that people envied and a role model to the upcoming politicians in the country. To hear of his death is not only a loss to his family, it's not only a loss to Adamawa State, it's also a great loss to Nigeria. Well, we cannot question God, but I believe we should go into the prayers so that we see where we can further honor this great legislator and honor this great man who sacrificed a lot to serve this country meritoriously. I thank you for your contributions. Prayer 1, send a delegation to participate in his burial obsequies. Those in support of prayer 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2, urge the federal government to name a national edifice in his remembrance or in his honor. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3, observe 1 minute silence in his memory. Those in support of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, may we rise to honor this great man with a minute silence. May the soul of distinguished Senator Dr. Jonathan Silas Swingina rest in perfect peace.